Hello everyone and welcome back to Project Ozone 3. Mythic mode. Oops, I broke the block. So in the last episode, we made some not spaghetti piping with viaducts, which let us transport players around, and the animation is always so fun. And we're using them as a pathway to each of the different magic mods. So last episode, we moved in Lordcraft and Embers, Britannia, and we also started some blood magic. In between the episodes, I have been doing a lot of work when it comes to mystical agriculture seeds. Yup. I've basically just been AFK waiting for neutral steel to build up and then crafting seeds whenever I can. So these ones right here are the ones that we already had from before, and these are all the new ones that I crafted. And actually, I'm still also leveling up, steel seeds. And in preparation for all the singularities that we're gonna have to start making soon enough, I started increasing some of the buffers in a couple of these alloy smelters. Oh yeah, and I also added the little skystone maker here. Just a barrel that gets lava and skystone dust. We need this for inscription tiles, and that's used in blank slates. So we do need quite a bit. And speaking of which, I've crafted myself a couple of stacks here, and we can start today's episode off by crafting one stack of blank runes, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, anyways, I want to quickly come back to this mystical seed setup because again, right now our goal is to get the ultimate singularity, and there's actually a lot of easy ones here like fluix, certus quartz, conductive iron, vibrant alloy, energetic alloy. We pretty much have seeds for all of these, and even for the ones that we don't, we can actually easily craft it. Like the fluix singularity just needs 1000 blocks, which is 4 each, and I'm thinking we want to get 2 of these ultimate singularities. One for the Philosopher's Stone, and then another one so that we can duplicate it with EMC, which is actually going to be, what, 8,000 fluix then? And yeah, we can easily afford this. I mean, come on, this is cheap. Yeah, our charged certus quartz supply is not going to be running out anytime soon. Oh, and I'm also going to want to give some extract speed here to the pipe, and also enable blocking mode, apparently, because we don't have space. Yeah, there we go. Now it's crafting properly. Certus quartz is also an easy one. We can add a recipe, and also a recipe for the fluix block while I'm at it. In fact, let's also get these crafting right now. There we go. For things like the vibrant alloy, which need a factorizer, I'm thinking today we start off the episode by building probably a couple arrays of these. Yeah, I've got 6 of them here. I wonder if I can do something like this, and with a couple of lasers, which we can then connect up to an item interface connected to an ME interface. We can also place the laser on top like so, and connect this up. Let's place a pattern for iron blocks. Oh yeah, and we need to connect this up. Can we now, let's say, request 2000 blocks of iron? Oh yeah, everything is getting items. We just have to export this to the back, I guess, and then we'll use item conduits to extract. Matter of fact, we can even extract out of the item interface itself back into our ME interface. Oh, but in that case, we would have to insert an output from the same side. And it's actually working. Awesome. All right. Now I'm going to go around and encode any of the easy singularities that we can already do. Yeah, like lapis. Redstone, we already have a recipe for. Matter of fact, yeah, let's just get 2000 blocks here. And so actually, if we want 2000 blocks of these ingots, it seems we need 18,000 ingots, which means any resource here that we have at least 18,000 of, we should easily be able to afford the singularity. Glowstone, we have a compacting drawer for that, so we have 18,000. Although this is only accounting for the glowstone that we get out of the sieves. We can encode gold, diamond, emerald, aluminum, copper, tin, zinc, silver, lead, and finally nickel, because I'm out of patterns. And I'm actually going to put a couple expansion cards in the ME interface here so that we can actually fit all these patterns. Ooh, that's a problem. Some of the items are getting stuck in the machine, which kind of sucks. But I think with the way that these lasers work, I don't think we can just enable blocking mode to fix it. I guess we can still try. Let's do gold next. Yeah, no, it's literally only using one of the machines. Yeah, once you disable blocking mode, it actually starts working properly. I think in that case, we'll just have 4 factorizers. Yeah, now the blocking mode is working properly. I guess next up, we'll do diamond singularity. That's another 2000 blocks, which is fine. Yeah, it didn't even put a dent in our diamond supply. Great. And while we're waiting, we should probably get into the extended crafts. We just need a bunch of this void ingot, which is easy enough. We'll craft up a bunch of alternators and an ender crafter. So now we need to craft up a bunch of ender biotite. We have the seeds for this, so this is easy enough. We also need 2 stacks of empowered void, and now we need 4 stacks of enderium. We also need a singularity for this, so let's see what we're missing for 18,000 of these. Oh, just a bunch of ender pearls. We can probably set up a spawner for these if we really need to. In the meanwhile, we can actually set this thing up, and I do want its location to be semi-permanent. Alright, there we go. I might change this so that we can actually see it from the front, but for now it works. And if you haven't guessed yet, what we're trying to craft here is black iron. The enderium, okay, so we can get at least half a stack of the ingots so far. There we go. And it's super quick already. Wow. And in the time that I was waiting for this half a stack, the rest of the enderium got finished. And I can't believe it. Look at how big our base is and how much automation we've done. Yet we still need to make black iron plates manually in this crushing table. We can use these now to craft basic components, and then we can combine 4 of these into the basic catalyst. Oh, and blocks of gold are now done, so I'm gonna request 2,000 blocks of copper next. But yeah, now we can take the basic catalyst and the basic component, and with some double crafting tables. And you know what? I'm gonna make a recipe in the manufactory for planks. This is a much more efficient recipe. And we'll place this thing where the original factorizer used to be. And with half a stack of speed upgrades, it's actually pretty fast. Alright, now with this we can get the basic crafting table. I guess we'll stick this thing in this room then. And I think I'm already gonna need another stack of black iron. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get a bunch here while I wait for the factorizers to make us blocks. And we can actually already craft another singularity. So let's see. Oh, we can't do emeralds. Let's do lead, I guess, then. And with a little bit of quick math, if we want to get the elite crafting table, then we're only going to be left with 14 black iron. We need 6 of these basic crafting tables so that we can make 3 of the advanced, 2 of which is going to go to crafting the elite, and then we're going to have 1 left over just to use as is. So hopefully I haven't messed up any of the ratios. Alright, and now these are all the things that we have for the next tier. We are just missing blue diamonds, infused diamonds, and a block of dragonstone, which is even more diamonds. So that does mean that we're gonna have to progress in Britannia and also start some galactic craft. But I was actually planning on doing that today anyway, so it's fine. This is also my first time playing with default galactic craft, so I'm just gonna try and follow the quest book. And first we need a circuit fabricator, which is... and apparently that needs a fluid infuser. Cool, that was easy enough. Oh, and we also need an electrolyzer. The electrolyzer needs water, and for some reason it didn't want to work until I gave it some speed upgrades. But yeah, now we take the oxygen, and then we infuse the ingots with that. Alright, I'm also gonna go ahead and void excess hydrogen, and also void excess deuterium. I only need the oxygen from this, so it doesn't matter. Oh, but then I have to pick up hydrogen so I can actually pick up oxygen. No, I'm just gonna void all then. Anyways, there's our thorium oxide, and the circuit fabricator. Alright, now we need these compressors, which take HDPE sheets, and dark steel anvils. That's easy enough. Although the HDPE, not so much. We're gonna have to get into that whole process. And while crafting these machines, we also ran out of compressed iron. I think we made our first batch in like episode 3 or something, and we finally used up all the backlog, so let's just get some more here. Yeah, we needed that so that we can make 2 ultimate control circuits. And apparently I don't need that anymore. Oh, because it's going to use the enriched alloy here. No, we wanted to craft a fresh batch. Anyways, here's the separator, the crusher, the rotary condensator, 2 enrichment chambers, and finally the PRC. Oh, and actually I need 2 of these. Okay, yeah, there's the other PRC. So HCPE has 2 main parts that kind of converge and then mix together. The first of which is a crusher into a PRC. This then goes into a rotary condensator and then back into another PRC. Now, this is where the spaghetti starts. We also need an enrichment chamber here and an electrolytic separator, and I guess our output drawer can go right over here. And actually we could probably even make it smaller just in this 3 block gap. Yeah, let me figure something out here. And yeah, a configuration like this works perfectly. I'm actually surprised I got it to be this compact. So we start off by crushing spectre saplings, which come from this interface right here. We have a separate connection. That then gives us biofuel, which goes into this PRC. That gets water from the back with a sink, and it also gets hydrogen from this electrolyzer right here, electrolyzing water. Then the biofuel gets made into substrate and ethylene. Ethylene goes into this gas tank and then into the rotary condensator, which turns it into a liquid, and then that goes into the second PRC. The substrate that we get from this goes into a voided drawer, and then gets re-extracted into the second PRC as an input, if I can open it. And this PRC is getting the ethylene from the bottom, as we said before, and oxygen from the left. That gets us the pellet, and we're sharing the block space here with an item conduit, which extracts it into the enrichment chamber. And then at a ratio of 3 pellets to 1 sheet, that then outputs into this drawer, which has trim, so that should hopefully be connected to the system. Now, can we get that compressor? Oh yeah, we're missing wafers, which is not that bad. I think if we just hook up an interface to our circuit fabricator, then it's gonna work just fine. Although we do need a space for this, and I think we can fit the galactic stuff right here in this wall. Oh, and this is actually even numbered. I'm gonna have to extend this by 1. Can I actually do... yeah, okay. I can move this entire thing by 1. We'll do that later though. And I think we still need 1 more machine from Galactic Craft. But yeah, we give this thing power from that side, I think. And I think that's all the sidedness that this machine has. Make sure to turn on blocking mode, and now we just need a couple patterns. Oh yeah, and also a facade for this. We don't want exposed cables. You know, I say that, but I'm also the same person who made this, so... yeah, I don't know. But don't worry, I do have an idea on how I can hide those cables, but also keep them visible. It's just that once I do that, I'll have to move everything, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah, it's actually working. The silicon is not stacking. That's what I was kind of worried about. Wait, do I have to extract from the bottom? Because that's gonna kind of suck. Oh yeah, you do have to extract from the bottom. Anyways, can we get the stupid compressor now? Yeah, that was easy. And with this, we'll immediately upgrade this to the electric compressor. Although I don't know if we really need this because all of these recipes can be done in the multi-compressor. I mean, I guess we can have them separated depending on how fast this thing is. If it's really slow, I'm definitely using the multi-block though. Okay, that is mildly more garbage than the multi one. I'll move the fabricator to the middle. Compressor is garbage. We're gonna set up some auto crafting with the multi one. And it's not like this electric one is going to waste because we still need it for the quantum compressor. Oh, matter of fact, we need 3 more of these. We can place down the interface like that. And we're gonna extract out of the back of this. But obviously, we don't want this to extract the printed stuff. So I'm gonna have a mod filter here. And I'm just gonna put compressed steel from there. Yeah, it recognizes the mod now. Yep, this has gone back into the interface. We just have to actually plug it in. And the problem is that I think this P2P is saturated. It's only 16 channels, but we are reusing this one, I think, over here. Okay, that connection is actually only at 7 channels, so we're good. And it should work at some point, hopefully. Maybe. Okay, yeah, it worked. Took a little minute, but yeah, we'll rename this to multi-compressor. Anyways, now the quest wants us to get a refinery, which is easy enough. We can already do this. We also want a fuel loader, which is a diamond wafer. Get a pattern for this real quick. We also want the launch pad and the NASA workbench, which needs an ME controller. Apparently, we already have one. I don't know from where. And there is the my voice is gone. Alright, this can go into our collection of crafting tables that we use once or twice. Apparently, there's not enough room there, so we'll just place it. Where can I place it? What? Hello? Okay, you're going there for now. I think we also need this thermal padding, so I put in a recipe for that. Oh yeah, the space pajamas. They are conflicting with my skin a little bit. It is covering one of my eyes though. Alright, now we get to the tier 1 rocket which needs an electric compressor. Okay, so we're gonna have to set up one of these. Okay, there we go. Mistake fixed. And also while I was at it, I went ahead and moved this thing 1 block. So now it's actually an odd numbered room, which is great. We'll go with like half a stack of these. Why do I need a hammer? So apparently the recipe I encoded for steel is iron and tiny charcoal. And this is made with a hammer. But now we have steel seeds, so we really don't need that. I should start growing some of these things. And yeah, I'll switch this crafter to do steel instead. Hello? What? That inventory desync shall go down in the history books because what was that? Nose cone. Alright, some rocket fins as well. Alright, there's the engine. And actually, that should be it. Nice, there's the rocket. Much easier than when I did this in GTNH. 2 heavy oxygen tanks. Oxygen gear. Oxygen mask, which needs an iron helmet. Okay, that took long enough, but here's the oxygen mask. Alright, now we need an oxygen collector and an oxygen compressor. Getting away from the oxygen stuff, now we need a frequency module and a parachute. We'll color this lime just because we can. And I think that's all we need for now. Let's wear all of this. And just so that we have an easier way of recharging our oxygen whenever we're at the moon or whatever other planets, we'll get a Spectre key. And if we hold right click, this should teleport us to a personal dimension. Not sure if these things auto output. Let's find out. Yeah, they do. Nice. But yeah, we can place the oxygen tank in there. That'll get charged up. Alright, the tanks are fully charged now. Let's go back. And now we definitely need some sort of a rocket launch site. Maybe somewhere here, actually, towards the south of the base. I definitely want to have a rocket museum, so maybe I'll try and fit that also over here. Yeah, let me see what I can come up with here. And I was able to come up with a big rectangle. It's very creative, I know. You don't gotta say it. I also realized I didn't actually build a little, like, launching site. But then again, it doesn't really matter where you launch from, right? So, yeah, whatever. This'll work. Oil, we actually already have an ender tank of that, right? Yeah, crude oil. There we go. And is this the input of the machine? Yes. All right, we're filling up on fuel. And I don't think there's any more preparations that we can do. Ooh, actually, wait. I just remembered this last minute. We're gonna want something to teleport us there and back. And I think for now, we'll just continue using waste stones. Okay, I think now for real, we can finally launch. Let's go. We've got liftoff. Alright, now we get to choose a planet. I think we need to go to Overworld and then Moon. Yes. Launch. Alright, nice. We are landing. Slow down. There we go. Okay. Give me back the rocket. Give me back the launch pad. Don't think we need this anymore. You can go. Let's place down our little waste stone. I think we just want to mine up every ore here. Never mind. There's like 9,000 and it's iron and redstone. We don't need this. Actually, I'm not even sure if there's an ore specific to the moon that we need. Oh, here's something. Cheese ore. Yeah, that's funny. I don't think it's useful though. Oh! What is that? Yeah, meteoric iron. I was literally just looking at the tier 2 rocket recipe to see what ore we needed from this. And yeah, this is actually what we need. And there's also a singularity for this. Good to know, good to know. But we do have a seed as well. Alright, now I just have to locate the dungeon and also get enough meteoric iron for the seed. Okay, for whatever reason, I just can't seem to be locating this dungeon. I've looked into every single hole. There's no way. I literally just started recording again to talk and rant about this, but I can't believe that just happened like that. Ah, here's the big guy. I just two-shotted him. What was that noise? And yeah, just to show you, I've explored this much. We're about 1800 blocks away from the waystone. Also, hopefully we can find some meteoric iron along the way. Yeah, I don't really see any nearby. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit further. Too much. Oh, there's one right there. I wonder if I can actually silk touch this. And then maybe now I can filter it into the digital miner. Let's say we start the miner. It does work. Okay. Not sure if this is the best way to get meteoric iron. Okay, actually no, this method is not great. I've been running around like a headless chicken for the past 10 minutes and absolutely nothing. I think I'll just have to let the world run, and once we come back later, we'll have more meteors that have fallen to the ground. For now, we can at least install the tier 1 rocket into our museum. Okay, I accidentally AFK'd for like 2 or 3 Minecraft days. Hopefully there's more meteors around here now. There is one right here that I can see. We're up to 11 of it right now. And remember, we only need 4 blocks to actually be able to craft a seed. Although actually, one second, I do wonder, and the game crashes? What? What I was about to say before we crashed is, I wonder if this raw meteoric iron doubles in our furnace. Okay, it absolutely does not. Where the hell am I supposed to find 36 meteors? So when I was AFKing earlier, I actually just AFK'd in the overworld. And I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. I think I actually have to be AFK on the moon. But obviously, I might run out of oxygen. So I think I'm going to craft myself an oxygen bubble distributor and a second oxygen collector. We'll also go ahead and make like a little moon base somewhere. Okay, yeah, something like this should work. I made the walls pretty thick just in case any meteors land on top of me. Now, obviously, we don't have any oxygen on the moon. So I think what you're supposed to do is place down some leaves. Wait, was that a meteor? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, we need 160 units of oxygen per second. We generate 6. Okay, nice. We generate 216 per second now. Oh, and you can even see the oxygen bubble. Yeah, as long as we stay in here, we shouldn't consume any oxygen from the tanks. All right, yeah, now I'll just go back to AFKing. Oh my goodness, look what I have. This is enough meteoric iron for the freaking seed. That took way too long. It was such a big loop of just waiting, then running around like a headless chicken, and finally finding like 1 or 2 meteors after 20 minutes of AFK. Meteor, yay! We are quite literally almost at 100 hours of playtime. That took way too long. But whatever, we have enough now. The metals from the next tier of planets shouldn't be as bad though, because they spawn as actual ores and not meteors. Oh, and thank God we have enough essence to actually make a tier 4 seed. Yep, there we go. We let this thing 10-10-10, and actually soon enough we're gonna have to rebuild this entire mystical setup. Yeah, looking back at it, this was never gonna get us to the end game. There's just so many seeds that we have to automate, so many crafters that we're gonna need, and it's also way too slow because of one fatal flaw, and I'm pretty sure you can see it, these outer edges here. Because of the fact that the plant gatherer does 1 crop at a time, and it scans 1 block at a time, it's actually also trying to scan these blocks, even though there's no crops on there, which actually does significantly slow down the rate of the farm, and it's all because of the stupid way that I built this in patches of 3x5 instead of a whole 5x5. So, you know, it's kind of my fault. But yeah, I'm thinking of rebuilding this in a way where it's only 1 seed per plant gatherer. And it's definitely going to be faster than whatever the rates are currently. Yeah, right now it's not the end of the world, but... Oh, and we actually need an expansion card here for the multi-compressor. So I think we need 10 of these in total. And that's surprisingly cheap. Alright. Oh, but I still need some extra heavy-duty plates for the other components. We also need some fuel canisters here, so we'll just fill these up from our loader. Okay, we can't do it from the loader, maybe the refinery, and we use these in the tier 1 boosters apparently, and now we should be good. Nice, there's the tier 2 rocket. All right, let's place down this rocket, fuel it up. Oop, and we almost forgot a waystone here, and now we can actually launch the rocket. I don't think we need anything else. Yeah, we'll go to Mars here. Ooh, we're in a little landing balloon. Ooh, that's a good bounce. Give me my rockets back. Thank you. And you can go... Oh, I can't even mine this up. All right, now the next tier of rocket just needs dash. We can just go ahead and use our digital miner for that. And there's 900 here. Nice. We'll place down the waystone right next to this guy then. I was going to say this is a meteor, but no, this is a slime sling egg. Ooh, hello, my little Mars pet. That's what you're going to be called now? Yeah, follow me. I'll probably be able to easily spot the dungeon from up here. Wait, is this it? Oh yeah, look at that. this is the cargo rocket. I don't need this. Well, it's getting quite late now, so I think I'll go to bed and then I'll come back tomorrow for this. I have to refill my oxygen as well, so. Alright, we are back. We have plenty of dash. I refilled the oxygen tanks. I think we can leave now. We did place down a waste stone, so we can come back anytime we need to. Alright, we need the next tier of heavy duty plates, which is just dash. And I already encoded a recipe for that, apparently. Yep, give me half a stack of that. Oh, and the dash plates got stuck in here. I think it's because they're from a different mod. So yeah, we just have to add this. I think we also want the next tier of thermal fabric. Oh yeah, and I forgot, we didn't even get the schematic yet. Yeah, the first dungeon didn't have it. Oh, and this is another dungeon. Yes. Okay, if this doesn't have a schematic, I'm gonna be sad. There we go. Nice. Alright, unlock the schematic. And this should be the tier 3 rocket. Nice. This is definitely my favorite looking rocket so far. Absolutely love the design. Alright, again, we set up the launch pad, place down the rocket, and let it refuel. We also can't forget about a waste stone, and also I encoded some more patterns for singularities. Yeah, a lot of these are alloys, so they might take a while. And I don't even have patterns for some of these. Alright, let's try Constantine. We can do it. Anyways, I think we can launch now. And the next planet we need to go to is Mercury. Invalid thermal protection. Oh, and then we're blowing up. How am I gonna get back? I guess I have to use the old thermal padding? Or no, wait, we need this tier 3 thermal padding. Well then what the hell is the tier 2 supposed to be for? Yeah, I crafted myself an extra Spectre key and an oxygen tank, which I'm gonna fill up here. Oh, and I need a second pair of oxygen gear and an oxygen mask. Oh no, which means another iron helmet. Really? Okay, here's one more iron helmet and an oxygen mask. Yep, we're still alive. Although we did lose the rocket, which means I'm gonna have to craft another one. Interesting terrain generation. This is a bit weird. Alright, place down the waste stone. And the ore that we're trying to find is called Mercury. 700, yeah, that should be plenty. Wait, is this the dungeon itself? Yeah, we're right here in the dungeon. And he's too easy, as usual. Yes, we got the correct schematic. Yeah, this should be enough ore. We don't even need this for a singularity or anything. And yeah, I think we do need the next tier of thermal padding because we need to go to Jupiter for the tier 5 rocket. So what's this? Just some carbon? Oh, we need to actually go back to Mercury for carbon ore. Yeah, it seems to be common as well. Alright, now we need 34 of the next tier of heavy duty, which is missing some copper. I guess we'll have to set this multi-block back up. And I guess we can place this right next to our other compressor. This is what, the third one that we have? The input for this has to be at the front. And I guess the outputs can go to this interface here. Alright, let's try this with half a stack. Yeah, nice. Now we just have to put this on heavy mode, and then we actually have to give it power. Let's go from this side. Compressed carbon got stuck. What's up with that? Is it from a different... Yeah, it's from a different mod. 34 heavy duty plates. Nice. Okay, so one more time. Some rocket fins, 2 boosters, the rocket engine, and the nose cone. And this should be our tier 4 rocket. This one actually looks pretty cool too. Oh, and this is the one that needs one of those special launch pads. And this one has to be 5x5. How big is this rocket? Okay, well, it's a little bit anticlimactic. But yeah, we should be loading fuel into this. I got my waste stone and everything. Let's see. I think we're ready for this. No, we are not. I realized last second. We still need the thermal padding. Yep, take off the old suit, put in the new one, and now we can launch. And the next planet for us is Jupiter. This time I'll make sure to slow down before actually landing. And wait, is there no terrain on this? Okay, no, it just took a while to load. Give me my rocket back, and you can leave now. Come on. Alright, place down the waste stone. And the next tier of rocket needs an ore called palladium. This one also requires a singularity, but it actually doesn't have a seed. So I guess once we need that, we're just gonna have to digital mine a bunch. Oh, and my armor is losing durability. Now to find that dungeon. I don't really know what it looks like. I'm assuming it's just gonna be a hole in the ground, but I haven't found any yet. And I've been traveling for quite a while. Wait, is that it? There's no way. As soon as I press record to complain about not finding the dungeon, I find it. Please have the schematic. Let's see. Yes! Okay, nice. Alright, a couple patterns later. I think actually we need 37 heavy duty plates for this one. Oh yeah, let's also place down the tier 4 rocket in display. And it's clipping through the floor. Yeah, I definitely need to raise the ceiling there. Anyways, once more, we need 4 rocket fins, another engine, another nose cone, and 2 more boosters. And I don't think we need a new thermal padding because this one works for Saturn, which is the next planet that we need to visit anyway. So this is the tier 5 rocket. And as usual, we need to set up the launching pad, let this thing refuel, get a waste stone. You know, I thought having this personal dimension for refilling the oxygen would be a smart move, but we don't really spend too much time on each planet for it to actually matter. So okay, I accidentally paused the recording, but we're now launching to Saturn, by the way. Nice. All right, give me back my rocket, the launch pad, and you can go away now. Place down the waste stone, and on this planet we need magnesium ore. Although wait, this is the same as the nuclear craft one. This doesn't have a singularity either, so we don't even need to get that much. And now we have to find a dungeon. Is that a nuclear bomb? Oh, and actually the dungeon is right next to that. Okay, hopefully we get the schematic first try. Yes, nice. Well, we're done here already. That was fast. One more rocket to our museum, which is also clipping through the floor. And now we actually do need the next tier of thermal cloth. All right, and here's all the materials for the tier 6 rocket. We let this thing fuel and grab some other things. And let's launch. And our next destination is the one that shall not be named. Launch. Nice, give me the rocket back and you can go away. Alright, from this planet we need a crystal ore. And while it doesn't have a conventional singularity, it does have this thing, boot tight plate. And we're gonna need this for the chaos plank so that we can get the creative chest. But it's 13,000 ingots for each one, which that has me a little bit worried. How are we supposed to get 13,000 of that? I guess we'll figure out when the time comes. For now, we just need a bit. Okay, so I died again. I found a dungeon, I got to the boss room, and then I kind of got distracted and ran straight into the boss, and he just one-shot me. I didn't even have any time to react. Thankfully, we still have the oxygen gear from earlier, so it's not that bad. Never mind, it is that bad. I don't have that anymore. Okay, I did it. Okay, there we go. I need to wear my oxygen stuff. Well, no matter what I do, I can't really get the slime boss to spawn back in. I think for this, I'll turn on cheats and grab a spawn egg. Yeah, I don't think it really matters that much. Otherwise, I guess I could have just gone and found another dungeon, but... yeah, whatever. It's not like it matters. And yeah, we get the tier 7 schematic. And I don't think I'm gonna put the tier 6 rocket in the museum because we don't have enough space for it. Yeah, we'll only have the tier 10, 9, and 8 rockets on display. Alright, and there's the tier 7 rocket. Yeah, this is mostly the same stuff, just with a different heavy duty plate. Ooh, and this one actually looks really cool. I still don't know if I like this better than the tier 3 one though. Anyways, let's go ahead and launch. And I think the next planet we're supposed to go to is Neptune. Again, give me my rocket and you can go away now. Set down the waystone for the millionth time. And the ore we're looking for is zinc, but we already have this, so... And wait, is this the dungeon right here? Oh my goodness, we spawned right next to it. Alright, there goes the boss. This has happened way too many times in a single episode. Okay, I got my grave back. Do we get the schematic? Yes! Alright, next tier of rocket, done. And ooh, I don't like that look. This is definitely the worst looking one so far. And now we go to Pluto. Give me my rocket back and you can go away now again. I did not bring a waystone to this place. Tier 9 rocket needs only tungsten. We already have this. So yeah, we shouldn't need to come back to this place often. Oh, and here's the dungeon, I think. Let's hope I don't die again this time. Do we get the schematic? Yes! We've been getting so lucky with these schematics. And we can also craft a rocket. We're almost there. One more tier after this. Ooh, this is a massive rocket. What? Look at the size compared to me. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite rocket so far. Screw the tier 3. And the next planet we need to go to is Eris. Okay, as usual, give me my rocket and you can go away. Okay, and the next one we need to get is Dark Iron. Here's the dungeon. And who's the boss this time? Oh, just a zombie? Alright, tier 10 electric rocket. Okay, second dungeon. Please give me the schematic. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I present to you the tier 10 rocket. Oh my goodness, this took way too long. I think we are approaching... Oh no, we've reached 100 hours of playtime. Wow. And if we scroll past the planets far enough... Oh yeah, it's actually up here. This is where we need to go. Kepler 22b. Wait, did we seriously lose the rocket? Well, at least we have the waystone, but anyways, the ores that we're here for are some different color diamonds. Yeah, this is what we wanted to get at the start of the episode. Yeah, it's actually quite rare, but thankfully we don't need that much of this. And we can actually double the blue diamonds in the pulverizer. Alright, there's one more piece of the puzzle done. And I mean, compared to this, the rest of the stuff is going to be trivial. And I think I want to tackle the Britannia side of this first, which means we need the terrestrial thing, and that's going to be all of these runes. And because Lordcraft is such a great mod, they decided to include that in the recipes. You need a unique one of these runes for every single one. Okay, that was way too much microcrafting, but finally. Okay, now we need some nature and dirt essence. I need this from mushrooms. There's the rune of fire, rune of water, rune of mana, rune of air, and finally rune of earth. Oh, but we're not even done there. We still need to get a focal lens, raw inscription stamp, and 2 signets of antimony. We're also going to need to use the smeltery here to get the copper aspectus and silver aspectus. And we also need antimony, which can only be made in the mixer centrifuge. Oh, which we already have. I think I crafted this for the quest a while ago. Alright, well, it actually seems easy enough to use. 2 tanks for input. Let's also grab our molten sugar and start melting down some lead. Okay, there we go. We're getting embers. Is our lead ready? Yep, there's a pretty good chunk of it. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I fell fed it as much embers as I could. I switched out all the pipes to the embers version. Even this fluid tank is from embers, and it's just not doing anything. Okay, there we go. I finally figured it out. So you're supposed to craft yourself one of these alchemical recombinulators, and then I guess let's connect it to this side. Then once we right click, it's going to search in the area for some alchemy pedestals. And in the recipe of antimony, you can see that we need 16 ashes for dawnstone and at least 16 for silver. I have both of those aspectuses here. Let's get some more ashes, and let's right click this. The lasers are connecting up to the things. Oh, okay, I stopped recording, but it actually worked. We were inaccurate by 5 on dawnstone, so that means we need 21 here and 16 silver. So let's try this one more time. The animation is actually really cool. Oh, and of course, I didn't have enough embers to start the craft. That's probably what was going wrong before. Yes! Oh my goodness, that took way too long. Alright, anyways, we can put a bucket in the smeltery and actually get our aspectuses here. It's always these stupid magic mods that take way too long to figure out. Alright, last thing is the focal lens, and this should be easy enough. We just need to pump some embers. We should be able to just start the craft. And of course it failed. What are we missing? So we need 11 on the copper and 41 on the silver. Thankfully I prepared materials for 2 sets of this. And finally, there's the agglomeration thingy. I do also have some sparks here. And yeah, let's get this craft started. Alright, get me the gateway elven core and the natura pylons. There we go. So, 9 dragon stones. With this we get the block, and the last step is to get some dimensional shards. And the only way I can see to get the dimensional shards here is using the laser drill from Industrial Foregoing. So there is the base, and for the drills themselves we need some pink slime. And the Mob Slaughter Factory recipe isn't even that bad. We'll place it down here, give it a range add-on, and give it some power. Alright, now we have a bucket of this. We're not gonna need this anymore, and we can go ahead and spawn the little guy somewhere over here. Die. And although we only got 4 from that, I am going to shamelessly use the compacting drawer duplication, just because at this point I really don't care. I just want my freaking crafting table, man. So there we go. There's the drills, and actually I'll give this a permanent location, ideally right next to the sieves. We should also give all these things some upgrades. And now we wait, and a while later, it's actually the next day for me, we have 12 dimensional shard ores. All right, yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm gonna process this stuff in the sag mill because I have some of these extra grinding balls, so hopefully we should get extra stuff. Oh yeah, look, we're getting 7, 6. Anyways, here's the infused diamonds, and finally, oh my goodness, this took way too long, the elite crafting table. And thankfully, the ultimate crafting table is an independent craft. We don't actually need a second one of these elites to upgrade. But I don't think I need to craft that right now. I think I'm just going to focus on getting the quantum compressor. Oh, and we're actually missing like 8 more pieces of black iron. Okay, there we go. I have the black iron necessary. And I also remember to actually craft, or I should say recraft, the tier 3 and tier 10 rockets. So yeah, let's go ahead and place these down in our museum before I forget. Anyways, we need 3 elite catalysts now. And we also need a black iron frame. Now we need 3 inscribers, which we have to upgrade into the advanced version. Alright, so here we are in the nether, because the next item we need is this ender dragon scale. And for some reason I don't have any, even though I've already killed the dragon. So I'm in the middle of trying to respawn it, but for every end crystal you actually need a whole beacon. And we just ran out of nether stars, so I'm gonna try and semi-automate the killing of the wither here. Hopefully the mob crusher shouldn't get exploded. Oh wait, I'm stupid, I didn't cover the top, so wait, this is gonna be a fail, but oh well. Actually, that went flawlessly. What the heck? Well, I'm not complaining. Let's grab this stuff. That's great. It's getting absurd how many times I've died this episode. Well, anyways, I'll see you after a couple of withers. Okay, I got myself some more nether stars. There's the 4 beacons, and we're out of carbonite. That means a trip to the Twilight Forest. And now, if I'm correct in saying this, there should be some, yeah, infested one of these things. Alright, yeah, that gave me the borer essence. We can use this to craft more carbonite, so I think I'm gonna capture one of these guys in a soul vial. There's actually a lot of these borers in the walls. Alright, yeah, I have half a stack of the essence now. Let's go back. Yeah, at some point we'll want to spawn these guys for more carbonite, but for now, you're gonna stay in the ME system along with the rest of the vials. Anyways, let's respawn the dragon. But first I want to grab the dragon egg. Ooh, a second egg, hello. Oh wait, here it is. Nice, we got 12. We need 8 for this craft, so it's not that bad. And all that's missing now is some neutral steel. And for the 4 pieces of 8th degree that we need 36 6th degree. That's a confusing sentence, but we are missing about 200 4th degree, which is not great, but we will manage. Alright, so with the 6th degree that we have so far, we can combine this with tin in the metallurgic infuser, and this will get us the 7th degree. We only need 12 pieces of this. Okay, and now to upgrade this to the 8th degree, all we need to do is craft the chemical injection chamber, which was a very expensive machine, but there we go. We also have 2.8 million sulfur. We're gonna need a little bit of this, and that's pretty much it. We place sulfur in the input, give this thing some power, of course. It should just work. Yeah, there's the first 3 pieces. Okay, I had to fix up some of the buffering issues. Now can we request 8 more of these? Okay, finally. Yeah, then we infuse this with sulfur like usual. And there we go. That's one more step done. We are actually super close. Last thing now is the advanced air compressor. Yeah, so there's 3 main parts to this. First is zircaloy, which is incredibly easy. Zirconium and tin in the alloy furnace. We also need DU plating, which is some uranium-238. And we just gotta isotope separate some uranium. Alright, yeah, that was easy enough. But now we come to the hard part, which is this advanced pressure tube. It needs an assembly line. Yay! Well, I guess we can get the easy parts out of the way first, which is the assembly program. This is just an Amadron tablet purchase. There he comes with my program. Hello. And actually, the most expensive part about this stuff is all the PCBs we're gonna need. Thankfully, I prepared 8 of these beforehand. We just have to assemble them. Yep. Go ahead and do that. And now we need some orange plastic and some blue plastic as well. Okay, a little bit later, we can now craft the assembly controller, assembly laser, assembly drill, 2 assembly IO units, and 1 assembly platform. The assembly line we can actually use to make PCBs without having to etch it or use the UV light box on it, which is actually really convenient. I should definitely set that up. Alright, and I think we should be able to fit it somewhere over here. So let's place like so. That's the controller. 2 IO units. The platform can go here, the laser can go there, the drill can go there. And I think we just need to give this thing the program. I think we have to make one of these IOs into an output. Yeah, anyways, our input should just be a block of compressed iron for each tube. We'll make a couple here. Okay, apparently I have to move the laser like this and the platform in the middle. Then we need some input and output chests. Yes, it grabbed the compressed block of iron. I don't know what I was doing wrong before. I just broke and replaced the machine and it worked now. Alright, let's get this advanced air compressor, and now finally we can do the quantum compressor. Wow, this is definitely the most expensive block we've held so far. So until I can find a better place for it, we're gonna place it in the middle of the air here and then surround it with spectre coils. Alright, let's try and craft some singularities. Ooh, and before we do that, we need an ultimate catalyst, which means more black iron. Okay, just a little more sacrificing to do. Alright, here's some ultimate components and the ultimate catalyst. Alright, now let's shove all these blocks in. Oh, wow, that was instant. There's our first singularity. Let's try and get a second one. Nice. All right, that's 1 singularity out of, I don't know how many. Although for some reason that didn't count. Is this not? Wait, what? But you need a stack of singularities for these quests? Okay, but we only need 1 of the ultimate singularities. That's fine. Yeah, these other quests here are not gonna happen for a while though. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna place an interface here and the quantum compressor on top. And now we can craft as many singularities as we need. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, there we go. 2 Certus quartz singularities. All right, well, we've achieved our goal for today. This is definitely a great time to wrap up the episode. I'm actually curious on how much playtime we have by now. 104 hours, and I started at what? Less than 80? So this episode took so long to make. Wow. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll come back next time to craft up some more of these singularities and start to settle ourselves in the mid-game of this pack. But thank you so much for watching. For now, though, have a great rest of your day.